I got a comment the other day about making a video about the voices in our heads and how we deal with them. And when I say voices in the head, it sounds crazy. Like that, when people said that about eating disorders, I thought that is the reason why I do not have an eating disorder, because I do not have voices, because I am totally rational by eating just grapefruit. And that is not the case. Here's the thing. These voices disguise themselves very well. They mold into you, so it doesn't sound like an eating disorder. It sounds like you talking to you, just in a very negative context. But the negative content of it is persuasive, and it seems irrational because you have evidence, and the evidence is done by body checking or calories or something like that you really can't argue with, but is completely wrong. So it's really hard to figure out how to deal with these, and I'm gonna clear it up. You're gonna have this voice for a long time. I have it to this day, and it's awful. But the way that it interacts with you is different from when I was entrenched in my eating disorder and today. Today, I listen to it and it makes me feel horrible about myself, but I don't act on it, and I can spot it. Doesn't mean I don't believe it, but I at least know it's there, and that's the first step. That's how you deal with this. You realize that there are two parts of you right now. You are like split personality right now. You have the eating disorder side and you. And in your eating disorder is stronger than you, and you're killing yourself by your habits. In recovery, you are trying to overcome the eating disorder voice, and that is part of what makes it hard, because the eating disorder voice knows it's in danger, so it goes on you harder and harder and harder, and you need to fight harder and harder and harder to beat it. So how do we beat it? I don't know. But the way that I have dealt with it is recognize that it's there and recognize that it's irrational. The way it communicates with me now is mostly about my body and making me feel horrible and fat and all of these negative things to me. And at that point, I mean, that argument, the fat argument, the you look terrible argument, all of that is irrelevant to my recovery. Okay, I might not be the best size that I would want to be, but I'm not going to kill myself because I don't like my size. And you just need to get the rationale. You need to figure out what you're going to do to fight it. And some of my other videos, like the words that got me to recover and the Minnesota starvation study, all of those things are to fight the voice. It's really unfortunate that when I say voice in our heads, I really do think of this demonic sounding, easy to spot voice, but it's not. It is you. It is intertwined with who you are, and it is how you talk it to yourself, because eating disorders just morph you into that. They just morph you into the self-derogatory person who just can't get past the flaws. Stupid flaws too, just flaws that aren't even there. So circling back to what you do, you spot that it's there. So when it's telling you to go 1 more mile, or it's telling you to skip 1 more meal, you need to talk back to it. You need to back talk it. You might not be strong enough at the moment to not act on it, but you are strong enough to talk back to it. You need to give it a little sass, okay? You need to shut it down. You need to be able to give reasons why it's not true. So you might fall into those behaviors. You might skip that meal, but you need to realize why skipping that meal is stupid. That is a thing that we need to be doing here. Because I recognize that just watching a video or reading a factoid won't make you recover. It takes a process to get your mind space into that part where you need to realize you need to just reinvent how you talk to yourself and how you live. So the first step is to talk back to it. Give it sass. And you do this by getting your facts, or getting what works for you. If that's motivation for your friends or your family, or it could be for your health, I don't want to have osteoporosis at 30. All of these things, whatever is your motivation, that is why you talk back, and that is what you give that voice. So if you skip that meal, you should feel that you're being irrational because you're talking back to the voice. Soon enough, you will be able to not act on that voice because the voice is convincing, but it's not convincing against your logic. How you deal with this, how do you even describe it? It's very convincing. It's a very convincing voice, and it seems completely logical to us, even though anybody from the outside can realize it isn't logical. I'm running into a problem here, because there are so many things I could say to how to fight this voice, but really that is up to you. The first step, and the thing that I'm hoping to introduce you to, is that having voices in your head isn't something reserved for people with a different mental disorder. It happens to those with eating disorders, and it is fairly common. It is really common. So, recognize that. Recognize that the thing that's telling you to skip a meal, the thing that is telling you to vomit, the thing that is telling you to exercise obsessively is not you. It's not you. It is your eating disorder, and that is a voice. Recognize that that is evil, that is the demonic sounding that is not, that is obvious, but it's disguising itself, and get that disguise off. That is the first step, and that is what I'm hoping to get to with this video. You may not be ready to totally throw away the voice and totally to just go around its authority. It has power over you, but you are capable of gaining that power because this is only a voice. This is a voice that is spewing lies that you can conquer and that you can override. It comes with time and practice, but practice starts now, and practice cannot be scary. It cannot be scary. It can be doable. Give it sass. Find what gives it sass. And eventually, because you are disempowering this voice, the stuff that makes you be scared right now, like saying no to mocking my own mile or saying no to skipping a meal, will be doable. It'll be doable. It was for me, and I'm no different than you. I could say a lot more, but that's what I'm going to leave you with because it's a lot to say about this voice because it is so present and so powerful, and it is a big coal giving to the terrain that is an eating disorder. You let me know if you have any questions, you let me know if you need any specific advice, and you let me know how you're doing. I'll talk to you later. Bye.